Hey y'all, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Okay, so I thought that I would hop on while I'm doing my makeup here, getting ready for work, and I would demo a look using the products that come in the Cool 2 starter kit. I didn't buy the actual starter kit, but I have all the things. So, oh, I'm knocking things over like a crazy person. So I thought I would just go ahead and do a look using those colors, and maybe if people are interested in getting that, it would be helpful to go ahead and see what it looks like on, and at least a couple of different looks that you can get with the kit. So what I'm going to do is start kind of with a basic look, and then I'm going to amp it up by recommending a couple of companion products to go with this kit. So let's dive right on in. I've put my primer on my eyes because I have hooded eyes and I need that because of the way that my eyes are shaped. They kind of slap together all day. And if I don't put primer, then my eyes just become a hot mess. And I don't want that. So I'm setting my primer with Best Kept Secret, and then I'm going to take a little bit of Spoiled. I'm going to use Spoiled two ways today. I'm going to take Spoiled on the Savvy Minerals blending brush, and I'm going to buff that out kind of as a transition / crease color right now. Going for kind of a subtle look because these colors don't really afford you anything other than a subtle look. So I'm going to start at the outer end of the crease there and just windshield wiper motions across. Not too precious, like I've said before with transition shades, just taking up about half of your available lid space there. And I like to buff it out pretty well, especially when I'm using it above the crease, to knock back some of the shimmer. You can also kind of blend it out a little bit with Best Kept Secret, and that'll do the same thing. So, like I said, as of this point, I've used Best Kept Secret to set my primer and then to blend out the Spoiled in the crease and up above, because it is quite shimmery, and I wish that they would do a color like this in matte. Young Living, if you're listening. So I'm planning to do at least one video for each starter kit, and including the dark ones, because I think that for people, good morning, Mary. I think for folks who are fair-skinned, there is some benefit to getting the darker tone skin, the darker tone starter kits. Not only will you have samples on hand for any lovely darker skin ladies in your life, but you can use the darker tones. The Passionate Blush is a must-have for everyone, I think. And you can use like Dark 1 in different ways, even if you do have fair skin or light to medium skin. Excuse me, I got something on my shirt. So there is value, and it is such a good price that I think it's a good way to kind of build your collection if you have $150 at a time to plunk down. So for bronzing, nice. Mary's using Dark 2 for bronzing. I think that's a good plan. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to foil a little bit of Spoiled. And foiling, for those who don't know, is the process of taking applying a shimmery eyeshadow wet. And what it does is it gives it a more shiny, more intense, or foiled, like aluminum foil appearance. It is not the process of just using loose powder wet. I've consulted with makeup artists on this, because when everybody started saying foil it, foil it, foil it, and talking about multitasker or jet setter or, whatever, I was like, I don't think that's right. And I have a few, I have one she's not a friend, but she's a YouTuber that's pretty popular that I've corresponded with a bit, and then another makeup artist who is a Young Living member, and both of them agreed that foiling is only the correct when talking about shimmery products. So I am foiling the Spoiled, and what works best for me is not wetting the brush. It is putting a little bit of product in the cap and then spritzing some of the misting spray in there and mushing it around. That gets a better texture and a better result there. Fingers also work. So whichever one you feel like doing. Some people don't like the mess in the cap. I don't mind it. I think that it's a really good way to, you know, reuse product. It's kind of like watercolor paint, you know, you can reactivate it with the misting spray and use it again. Okay, so I'm only going about 3/4 of the way across my lid with that Spoiled. And then I'm going to take a little bit of that same color Spoiled. Let me get my brush. And I'm going to apply it. What am I going to use? What am I going to use? What am I going to use? I'm going to apply it dry with the blending brush in that outer V area. Ooh, tapped off onto my black shirt. So I'm just going to kind of build up a little bit of depth, hopefully, by applying some of the Spoiled dry over that outer corner there where I just foiled some stuff. And a little bit up into the crease. Again, you're not going to get a very dramatic look with these colors because they're all pretty muted. But a lot of people don't mind that. I'm not really one of those people, but you know, it's okay. All right. So I got a little bit, I don't know if you can see that in the camera, just a tiny bit of contrast, but we're going to deal with that with one of the companion products, or two of the companion products actually, in just a second. Okay, so that's the eyes done. You can also take a little bit of the Spoiled and run it under the lower lash line. You can do this foiled or dry, just whatever your preference is. I'm doing it foiled today. And then I am going to also just run a tiny bit over that dry to kind of set it, because I get watery under eyes, and I find if I kind of layer it like that, it lasts a little bit longer. Okay, the last thing for the eyes is Residual. That's the third. I probably should tell you what comes in the kit, huh? That would be helpful. Okay, so in the kit, I should have led with that, right? So in the kit, I have this little graphic here that shows you. You get a 5 ml of lavender. You get a misting spray. You get the foundation brush, which even if you already have a foundation brush and the foundation, like having a spare is always good. You can use it for contouring. So it's always good to have a spare. You also get the, oh, that's warm too, sorry. You get the, where's the cool to? Well, poop. That's not even the right graphic. I'll have to change my thumbnail. Man, I tell you what, I am so professional, y'all. I swear I don't know why I don't have a gajillion subscribers. It's really, really baffling. Okay. Cool 2 starter kit, where are you? Here we go. Okay, this is a different graphic, but it'll work. You get the Abundant lip gloss, which is the lighter pink one. And then you get 3 eyeshadows. You get the Residual, Best Kept Secret, and Crushin. And I've been saying Spoiled, but it's Crushin because, again, super professional. Smash and Blush, and then the Cool 2 foundation. So the next one will be better. Okay, so anyway, so I've got that in there, and that's all I can really do with the eyes, except for add a little pop of highlight in that center, in that inner corner there. So I'm going to, y'all, I haven't slept in 2 days. I should not have filmed a video this morning, but that's okay. Hopefully somebody will get something out of this. All right, so I'm just gonna put it on my fingers like that. I'm gonna just show you 2 different ways to do it. I'm just gonna pat it on that inner corner, and it's just gonna add a tiny bit of contrast to the Crushin. And it create a little bit of a gradient there. Okay, sorry, got extra buildup there. Okay, so now we can apply some of the Smash and Blush. Actually, let's do this. I'm gonna curl my lashes so you can kind of get a better idea of a more finished look with these 3 shadows. It's very subtle and more shimmery than I would do, but that's kind of been one of my beefs from early on. But I did my best to tone down the shimmer in the Crushin. Buffing it out with the Best Kept Secret definitely does help. You could even mix the 2, but then you're just going to get a lighter shade, which if you're super fair would be fine. And if you don't like, you know, big drama. But if you do like a little bit of drama, I'm going to have you covered in just a second. Okay, I haven't done my under eye yet because I normally do my eyes first, but I wanted to have the rest of my makeup done so I could apply blush and you wouldn't have to wait for me to do that since I don't wear Cool 2. And for the 2 of you that are hanging around watching this foolishness, I love you the most. Because like I said, I haven't slept in 2 days and this was not the best idea this morning, but you know, I was up, so I figured I had time. Excuse me. All right, so we got a little bit of mascara on there. As you can see, I mean, it's subtle, but we're gonna fix that. So, but first, before we do that, I wanna move on to some blush, and this kit comes with Smashing. I just misted my brush a little bit, dipping in a tiny bit into the blush, and then I'm going to pat out the excess on in the thing. And then I actually want to spritz it one more time because I got a lot of product on there. And then I'm just going to lightly dab in circular motions on the apples of the cheeks there. Smashing is a pretty shimmery shade. If you have enlarged pores on your cheeks, you're going to want to apply this either with the misting spray or like I'm doing, or like the lavender lip balm and create a cream blush. That'll help knock back some of the shimmer. And because if you just go in with it dry and buff it in, it's going to exaggerate the pores on your cheeks. So you don't want to, unless you're a fan of exaggerated pores, then girl, you do you, but I'm not. So, so there you go. That's just a little bit of smashing on the cheeks. And then I'm going to apply the Abundant and that is stage 1 of this look. Now, I need to finish my under eye, but I'm going to do that last. This, this is very subtle, and for a lot of people, it would be totally fine. I am not those people. So, I'm going to recommend a couple of companion products for you to kind of amp up this look a little bit and get a more, in my opinion, a more complete look. So, we need liner. You can do that either with Multitasker or with the Jet Setter. Now, I think I'm going to go ahead and do some Jet Setter because that's just, actually, yeah, I need sleep. So let me think. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the Jet Setter. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is put a little bit of liner there. So I'm going to use my liner trick, and I'm going to put a little bit in the cap, spritz it with the misting spray, and whoosh it around. This is not a Savvy Minerals brush. I don't have the Savvy Minerals eyeliner brush. And then I'm going to go right under, right at the roots of the lashes, my eyeliner trick. I have a video on this. If you haven't seen it yet, you might want to check it out. And I'm just going to give some oomph at the lash line. You could definitely do a more dramatic liner look, but you don't have to. This is just super easy, and especially for people with hooded eyes, it's a really good way to get some definition at the lash line without taking up too much of your lid space. Okay, and then I'm going to also use the multitasker. Good morning, Cindy. You just wait till you watch this from the beginning, girl. It's a hot mess. I'm going to get just a tiny bit of the Jet Setter on a brush. This is the eyeshadow brush that comes with the holiday collection. If you can see that, it's got dual-ended there. And I'm just going to add, I'm going to lightly tap it in that outer V a little bit more into the crease, just to kind of add a little bit more depth there and give a little bit more of a gradient. And I think that this will work well with the Cool better than the multitasker, but you certainly could do the multitasker. If you're not a black liner person, then get the multitasker. I'm going to put a little bit on that point and put that right in that outer edge of the lash line there. Just kind of smudge it out a little bit. There you go. You can see the difference between the two eyes. This one has a little bit more depth and definition and more of a gradient happening. It just looks like more of a complete look. Another thing you can do is drag that under the lower lash line. See, I just think that this is a more complete liner, a more complete eye look with just one extra product applied very sparingly. You don't need to be afraid of the Jet Setter, y'all. Black eyeshadow, I think, is a must in anyone's collection. It's so useful. You can use it as liner. You can use it as to add depth like this. Just a light hand and a good brush, and you're good to go. And if you feel like you went a little bit too much, you can just buff it out, you know? It's just eyeshadow. But definitely think that a black shadow is a must. All right, we're getting there, y'all. We're getting there, we're getting there. And I'm gonna do the tip. Smudge that. Okay. There we go. I'm happier with that. I feel more like me. It's not to say that you have to do exactly what I do, though. I mean, you know, we all have different preferences and stuff, but I definitely think that the adding on the Jet Setter when you get your starter kit is a good idea. In general, not just for this kit. In general, it's a good idea. And my leg is falling asleep because I've been sitting here way too long. Okay, so another companion product that you might want to consider is a bronzer. Now, I absolutely, absolutely love the Summer Loved bronzer. I feel like it's way more versatile than the Crowned All Over. And you can use it as a bronzer. You can use it as a crease color. Some people like to use it as the contour. I'm trying to find mine because I took the wrong one out. Because again, I am so professional. And so I'm just going to add a tiny bit. And when I say a tiny bit, literally like 3 taps in the cap. And then I tap it off. and I just go follow the hairline around. That's all I do. And mess up my hair because, you know. And then the last thing that you can do using the products in this kit is add a little bit of highlight with the Residual. I prefer Wanderlust for this, but I mean, it comes with Residual, so that's what we're going to use. And I'm going to go right, turn your face, and you see right where the light hits. Go ahead and bam, knock that up just a little bit with the Residual. And do the same thing on the other side. I like to kind of go up to like maybe a little C shape right there. And I come to about where the color of my eyes stop. Like that's where I stop. I don't go onto the cheeks. And then a little bit across the tip of the nose. And then I like to also put a little bit on the Cupid's bow. I'm using a pencil brush here, but you could totally just use your pinky finger. Okay. And then of course, oh, I have to do my under eye first. Hold on. All right, let me prep my under eye real quick. Actually, I'm just gonna mix it up right here. Yeah, so, whoops. So I hope that that gave you some ideas of ways that you can make the Cool 2 starter kit work for you. Even if you're not a Cool 2 and you already have your foundation, I think if you're a warm 2 and you have like, what was the color, like purpley kind of eye, dark circles under your eyes, that you could use the Cool 2 as a concealer and then get some of the other shadows in a blush. You know, it's pretty versatile. That's a way to kind of, again, build your collection and use the some of the products in a different way. So, okay, concealer is done. Now, last step. I just love the way it smells, so so I like to spray my face with it after. Anyway, there you go. That was my very like scatterbrained, unprofessional demonstration of the of the products that are contained in the Savvy Minerals Cool 2 Starter Kit. I hope that that gave you some ideas of ways to use it and some companion products that might help you make a little bit more out of the selection that's in the starter kit. If you have any comments or questions or suggestions for other ways to use the products or other companion items, then you can pop those down in the comment section below, and we would all love to hear those. You can also find me on Facebook at Savvy Girls Guide or Instagram at SavvyGirlsGuide_YL. I would love it if y'all would tag me in any of your you know, your makeup looks that you use that are inspired by any of the tips and tricks that I offer here on this channel. Yeah, that's it for me. I'm going to head out to work. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.